Hello and welcome to CIBER Focus, your source for global business information. I'm your host, Tim Smith, and our guest today is Jamie Saxe. Jamie Saxe, Senior Director, Xylem Watermark and Corporate Social Responsibility, is responsible for expanding Xylem Watermark, Xylem's corporate citizenship program. She does so by increasing global employee engagement and program growth to engage key customers, suppliers, and business partners. She is also leading the development of new commercial offerings that will serve populations and markets most vulnerable to water insecurity globally, along with building awareness of emergency response capabilities and solutions. Jamie led the team in 8 disaster response deployments in 2018, along with closing out a 3-year engagement program. In December, where over 100,000 employee volunteer hours were logged and 45% of the employee base engaged in 730 events globally, resulting in a record year for the Xylem Watermark program. Prior to Xylem, Jamie has worked in the water technology infrastructure space, focused on commercial sales and marketing with companies including GA Fleet Associates, SJE Rhombus, and Multitrode, which is now owned by Xylem. While at GA Fleet, Jamie led the Hurricane Sandy response efforts from planning to execution and deployment, to provide assistance to those who needed critical water-related assistance rapidly in greater New York City. Jamie serves as past chair on the board of directors for the New York Water Environment Association, and Jamie has a BA in kinesiology from the University of Kentucky. Jamie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Tim. Really appreciate the time today.
Well, thank you for joining us in Bloomington. We appreciate your time.
It is a little challenging coming from University of Kentucky, but I will say that I've told Patrick Decker I will throw off my jersey and potentially leave here with an IU jersey.
Fantastic. We've had many Hoosiers come from Kentucky, so sounds fantastic. Thank you.
Good.
Well, why don't we start? So what are the key global water challenges we are facing today, and how are companies like Xylem working to solve these issues?
Yeah, so Xylem is a Fortune 1000 company, and we have about 17,000 employees globally.
Wow.
And really what we're doing to lead the initiative for solving the world's global water challenges is really looking at addressing affordability, resilience, and accessibility. And so the way that we're really focusing on doing that is by providing global water technology solutions for disaster relief through resilience mechanisms, as well as the accessibility of creating technology to bring clean water and sanitation to areas that have absolutely no accessibility to water or sanitation. And then also in the developing markets, looking at reuse systems. And so how can we start to conserve and treat reuse water to then feed it back into the local population. The affordability factor for us is a huge topic that's come up recently in the last few years, because we look at, in the emerging markets specifically, the gap in the top class and the bottom class, which we call base of pyramid. And so even in the developed market as well, the affordability in terms of water and the accessibility to water is really becoming substantial. And a lot of the general population, even here in the US, it could be up to 40 to 45% of their income would be their local water bill. And so just really following those 3 core focuses and raising the awareness of how we can address that through global technology solutions is really what we're focused on this year.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
So what is Xylem's approach to sustainability?
So Great question, and there's a lot of detail there. Really, sustainability for us means multiple things. And so when we look at sustainability, we look at what is our true environmental impact. We also look at what Watermark is doing through community impact. And then the last thing, but really to me one of the more important things, is the culture that we provide to our employees and to our stakeholders. So what we try to develop in terms of bringing the community impact, the environmental impact, and the cultural impact within the organization together as one is what really creates a true sustainable function for the organization. And so I know we'll talk more through this this interview around, how do we truly do that as an organization, especially in the communities, and how are we outreaching to our employees as well as our stakeholders and creating a more collaborative environment. And that really drives the sustainability of our corporation. It drives the sustainability of our customer base, and it just drives the sustainability of just the general population and the general consumer.
Sounds like you're creating more value.
Yes, absolutely. So we like to say that we're creating economic and social value. And so as a large publicly traded company, we look at how do we truly create economic value, but then how do we supplement that with creating social value in the communities and with our stakeholders? And one of the biggest things that we're driving, and Patrick Decker, our CEO, and our leadership really have myself and our team and our employees focusing on, how do we make that a seamless process where it's integrated into our business model every day?
Yeah, let's follow up on that a little bit more. How is it integrated into your business model? And what do you mean a little more specifically about creating social and economic value?
Yeah, so we do that through Watermark, which is our corporate citizenship program. And Watermark is specifically geared towards employee engagement opportunities where we allow our employees internally to organically develop events around the world that is best for their community to go out during work hours. Focused on water-related activities. Being a water technology company, we want to make sure that we're elevating the message about the importance of water scarcity issues and contamination issues. And we allow them and encourage them to go out and really contribute to the community. And then the other way we do that is through engaging our stakeholders. So in 2019, we have a huge initiative to engage our stakeholders in a big way. And the way that we're going to be doing that is getting them involved in our organic community events. We're also doing a lot more fundraising for the nonprofit organizations that we partner with. We partner with about 6 nonprofit organizations globally that are really focused on driving water accessibility and WASH education and value of water education in youth development. And we want our stakeholders to be helping us with this initiative. And so we believe that coming together as a collaborative effort in the community is really going to drive that social message.
Absolutely.
And really elevate the opportunity for us to drive water awareness.
Great. What a fantastic initiative. I can't
you.
wait to hear what else happens as you let this unfold on the global stage.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jamie. How is corporate citizenship and employee volunteerism important in corporations and individuals? Maybe big picture. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, so from our standpoint, so at the end of 2018, we logged over 110 employee engagement volunteer hours. We had 45% of our employee base participating in corporate social responsibility activities. And that's in the top quartile of organizations. 42% is really considered top quartile for CSR programs.
Okay.
But the way I look at that is, why can't we continue to excel and really get more people involved? And so we've really shifted our focus on how are we collaborating to get more participation in our programs. We're also looking at how do we then facilitate bigger topics together with multiple networks. So if you're looking at true stakeholder engagement, having the municipality, the end user it could be an industrial customer, the end user of all of this water and sanitation consumption, and then also who is the nonprofit organization that's driving this, and can we get to a level with the UN where we're all sitting around a round table to really drive the issue together collaboratively. And so we've started to really do that and execute that, especially through our disaster relief opportunities in the last 6 months. We've been doing a lot of disaster relief over the last 10 years, but truly in the last 8 months, 6 months to 8 months, we've had about 8 to 10 global disasters that we've been responding to. And we've partnered with private organizations as well as nonprofits and governments to be able to actually execute properly to help the general communities. And so that has been so much more powerful for us than just going in and thinking we can do it on our own. And so that just proves out the stakeholder model really does work.
Absolutely. That's good to hear. Thank you. Thanks. How could high-tech players like Xylem help advance water security in developing countries?
Yeah, so right now Xylem is really dedicated to what we call the base of the pyramid product innovation. And base of pyramid is a term that's really used when we talk about families that make less than $3,000 annually for their income. And that's about $1 to $3 a day. And when we look at how do we address those opportunities for those communities, the one core value that we really are seeing with them is that they actually want to have the opportunity to pay for and have some skin in the game, if you will, for accessibility for water and sanitation. And a lot of these communities that are in rural locations don't have the opportunity to have the infrastructure to be able to gain access to water. And so what we are really starting to do with collaborative efforts with universities and also with our own teams and other private organizations is to develop and innovate products that allow us to go into these communities and provide technology for water and sanitation. And so more to come this year on that. We have a bold goal to launch 5 new products this year. And so we're really focused on how we drive the base of pyramid innovation for water and sanitation accessibility.
Excellent. Thank you, and good luck with that initiative.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome. Xylem embarked on an industry-first partnership with Manchester City Football Club in the Premier League last year. Why is this an unusual partnership?
It's fantastic. It's very exciting. So it's really Xylem's first play into the B2C market in terms of partnerships. And so we found that partnering with Manchester City Football would be a great global water challenge platform for us to really boost the awareness of what the challenges are. Manchester City's fan base is one of the largest globally of any sport. And so we thought as a company that would be a fantastic platform for us to really elevate that message and really create the awareness about the water challenges.
Well, great. Exciting, and I'm excited to hear more about this as the partnership continues for your company and for Man City. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a couple of things we're doing right now with their foundation. So we just finished a project, a safe water project in Bangalore, India, where we partnered with the Manchester City Foundation and Watermark team, and we brought our employees together with some of their fans, and we did a 4-day community event in Bangalore. And one of the things that we were able to first integrate globally was WASH education and football, and how we actually started to execute football drills with the students at the schools through integrating the WASH education within those football drills. So the really neat thing about that was that not only did we provide water filtration, but we provided water education and football education together as one. And so it was a very impactful program, and we're looking forward to doing more with that.
Certainly. Well, sounds great. Thank you. So Xylem's a company that's clearly making shared value creation a key part of your culture. So how is this helping you attract younger talent, Jamie? What kind of people are you looking for to hire and grow their careers with your company?
So it really invigorated me being here at IU. Yesterday, we had a fantastic seminar with the students in Kiski.
Great.
And we've had just an amazing response to how social impact really plays a role in students today. And so I'm really excited about the fact that leading with a social purpose as a publicly traded company has really started to attract and help us recruit students from IU and others. And what has really hit home for me is that we're truly driving what youth is interested in through our program in conjunction with the economic side of our business. And in going to thought leadership conferences around philanthropy and social impact and corporate social responsibility, I personally have found that we are really at a top-notch company in terms of driving sustainability and social efforts. And so when students look at Xylem, we would hope that they would look at us as a company that really leads that initiative, and we're really on the forefront of that as a water technology leader.
Yes, and I can't help but surmise it to say you're working hard to make the world a better place for everyone.
We are. And it's so impactful to go out into the communities and experience it firsthand. I would say that one of the biggest impactful opportunities was when I was in Bangalore a couple weeks ago, and one of the little girls came up to me and said, "I've been out of school for the last week." And I said, "Really, what was wrong?" She said, "I had typhoid from the water at my school." And we were there putting in water filtration systems and teaching and educating about sanitation and health and water and hygiene. And I'm going, my gosh, I'm talking to a little girl who just had a week off of school because she had typhoid. I couldn't believe it. I said, this isn't just something everybody's making up. This is a true issue, and it is a global issue. And so we're really excited to bring IU students in to be a part of it. We're really interested in bringing additional stakeholders in, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Yeah.
Yes, it's exciting to be a part of meaningful work indeed.
It is.
And thank you for sharing that story with us.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Well, can you talk about Xylem's disaster relief efforts and how they fit into the company's overall social impact approach?
Sure, absolutely. So we have a dewatering side of our business, which is an economic portion of the business.
Okay.
And what we have historically done there is a lot of disaster relief, but also just immediate relief for any type of small pipe breaks all the way up to large flooding or mining disasters. And so we've decided that we have the expertise that the governments need around the world, and we should be doing more with that from a humanitarian perspective. And so we have continued to up our game in terms of leading with a humanitarian response for disasters. And with coupling the expertise that we have and the equipment that we have to dewater these really flood-prone areas, or in some cases, mining disasters where they'll have just a huge inrush of water that potentially will cause deaths in the mines. And so we feel as though if we have that expertise, we owe it to communities that do not have the resources to give them our expertise and really help them out in time of need. And so when we really started to talk about bringing this to a bigger level at the end of 2018, I started to add up the disasters that we had already been doing from a humanitarian response, and you had mentioned 8, but we're now just into April, and we've already been responding to 4 disasters this year. So I see that being a major trend increasing over not just 2019, but going into 2025 and 2030 as we see these major global climate change issues occur. They're here today, and it's only getting worse. And our disaster response from a humanitarian standpoint is just growing. And we're really excited to be a part of it. In fact, we want more people to be a part of it. So our biggest initiative with what we're doing is finding other stakeholders that can help us expedite our humanitarian response. So we are very blessed to be a part of what we're doing today and look forward to seeing it grow.
Great. So they can watch this video and contact you and get involved,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Yes.
Well, great. Jamie,
you.
thank you so much for coming in to speak with us today. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you, Tim.
I think you are a Hoosier now. You've spent enough time with
absolutely.
us and engaged. So Patrick, he'll be excited to hear that too,
Yes.
right? But I really appreciate it, and I wish you and your company the best as you continue
Thank you,
to
Tim.
work to make the world a better place.
Thanks.
Thanks so much. That's all the time we have for this edition of Cyber Focus. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any comments or suggestions for future topics, please let us know at cyber, that's CIBER, at indiana.edu.